Yeah. Busted. Peace and love, family. I'm Skip.
And no DJ.
And this is another episode of DeCypherEd Road to 100. And this is episode 5. And if this is your first episode of watching this, we are going through 100 albums, getting to our top 25 list for 2024. And for this episode, the albums that we have are, let me see. It's not pulling up when I needed to. Okay. We have Mr. Beat the Road by Boss Man DLO. Not Now, I'm Busy, Joyner Lucas. We Don't Trust You, Future and Metro Boomin. Marciology from Rock Marciano. And Don't Forget to Breathe by Buddy. And before we get started, DJ, how you doing? I can't hear you, bro. I think your mic is muted.
Yeah, what up?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm happy. I like doing these episodes. We just going through a lot of different projects, getting kind of straight to the point with it, and then definitely move. I'm excited to make that top 25. I think it's gonna be real interesting. But doing our due diligence like this, and just real quick, and we go ahead and go into the albums. Y'all, if y'all truly understand how many albums or how much music comes out in a year, please don't bite our heads off if we don't get to an album or hear an album through this process. We're just trying our best to do some type of due diligence instead of just going off our own biases. So we go get to try to get to a wide range of stuff. So just be patient.
Yeah, because I didn't pick them from like a preference point. I just picked what albums came out each month. I didn't select them from any particular vantage point outside of the list I was pulling them from. Now I did some of the stuff I pulled was from like some consensus album of the year list. But other than that, a lot of it was from just the Hip Hop DX release schedule.
Okay.
And I do acknowledge that some stuff wasn't on there because I think it's a schedule of what is supposed to come out as opposed to what came out. So there is some overlap, and that's why I had to check other places. But let's start at Boss Man DLO, Mr. Beat the Road. Mr. Beat the Road. What did you think about it?
Bro, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I like this album, dog. He is so fucking funny to me. He is so entertaining to me, bro. He not really rapping
Cloud Blizzard.
Like he ain't really rapping about shit for real, but he leaves me entertained, bro. And the production is fire. Like the production is fire all the way through. I didn't realize he was from Florida until I heard this project. But now that I go back and listen to it, like it makes sense. And a couple songs I did like for sure. The song Boss Talk. Of course, the viral song Get In With Me. I do like that song. I like the song Come Here featuring Sexy Red, which is weird because I can't stand Sexy Red, but I do like that song. And I like the other viral song that's on TikTok, the Talk My Shit. Let's Brickle, baby. Like that shit. But yeah. But yeah, no, I like Boss Man DLO, man. I don't know if it's gonna necessarily make my next round because it's so much music. But I do say I enjoyed this album. I will say that.
I do too. And one thing I was thinking about when I was listening to this album, and as you can see, I've mentioned Trill Fam at least 2 or 3 times through this process. Rest in peace to Lil Fat. He reminded me so much of Lil Fat on this project. Lil Fat had a little bit more sauce than Boss Man DLO. He was a little bit more smoother and a little smoother in his delivery. But as far as their overall sound, I hear a lot of Lil Fat and Boss Man DLO. So I liked it off rip because I was a big fan of Lil Fat. Like when he passed, I was like, dang, like he was like he had just dropped the album that had I think it's Count My Money Backwards on it. So he was about to make a run, I felt like. So I was kind of hurt by his passing, but I also said I like the production on this project, and that was before I really got into it. By the time the album was over, I really like this project.
Yeah.
Some of these beats had like rock and roll elements in them.
Mm-hmm.
Something that I wouldn't expect from somebody who like from if you say, hey bro, this is a new trap rapper, you know what I'm saying, from Florida, I would not expect some of the beats that he used on here.
Him and Big X the Plug, whoever they producers are, like they doing a fantastic job with their projects. Like the samples that they using, and just the production, like it's really, really good, bro. Like,
And
I don't know.
I think the production on Mr. Beat the Road is better than the production on Take Care.
Oh, Big X. I don't know. I haven't heard that in a minute. I gotta go back to it. But I definitely do like Mr. Beat the Road. I definitely enjoy this project. Like I say, I'm not going to him for any kind of technical rapping whatsoever. I'm just going to have a good time, and I get that. So I have no problem with it.
Some of the songs that I like was Dove. I said that was a good song. Boss Talk was decent. Get In With Me, of course, was the viral track. But it didn't really do it for me like that. It was okay, and it was short. And that's something I noticed with a lot of these songs. Like he managed to fit 18 songs in less than 45 minutes, which is crazy. And that's what I noticed too about a lot of the projects we've been listening to. A lot of them are like 30 minutes or less.
Yeah, that's what the wave is for these newer artists like Boss Man, DLO, Big X the Plug. It's just it's the TikTok format. Like they make songs for TikTok, so these songs be like a minute 30, minute 45, maybe 2:10 at the most. But they not long songs at all. But they make sure that that one verse and that one hook that go through twice is a banger, and they just go with it. It just really depends on the artists that make the songs that in order for me to like it. But as I told y'all before, I prefer our generations where songs was standard minimum 3:30, and then the album cuts is like 5. Like that's the stuff I enjoy. But I do like, depending on who it is, I do like some of the shorter songs that's out right now. And
you gotta
Boss
have a lot
Man,
to talk about to cover that much time, though. To be honest,
yeah,
you gotta have
and
a
they
lot
just
to talk about.
and they don't have a lot to talk about for real. So they just
And
get straight to the point.
Yeah, Lil Bastard, that beat was fire. I like the song too, but Rob 49 verse was horrible. His verse was absolutely horrible. Dope Man was cool. And I said about track 10, the album started to like run out of steam. It started to lose steam, I'll say. But then songs like MOB, Muscle Up, 22, those were good songs to end the project. So it kind of bounced back towards the end.
Yeah.
And I said, when this album is good, when it's good, it's good. When it's not, it's not.
Yeah.
Great production mostly throughout, but very, very low versatility content wise and rap wise. Like you said, we're not coming here for the raps, but like, it's some good songs on this project, man. Like I said, it's not gonna make it to the next round, but it's some good stuff on here. I gave it a 6.8 out of 10.
I gave it a 6.5.
Yeah, so we got kind of close on that one.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Not Now, I'm Busy, Joyner Lucas. And I had somebody reach out in the DMs after I posted this one to say we was gonna get to it. He was like, I'm excited to hear y'all thoughts. I was like, you might not like it. You might not like what we have to say.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad album by any means.
Yeah.
I think it's like,
it's him, bro. It's him. It's him as a person.
You know how like if you have a turkey sandwich, right? Mm-hmm. The turkey always gonna be good, but the turkey is like, that's the baseline part of the sandwich,
right?
And that's his raps for me, like his flows and like that type of stuff. Like his technical rapping is the turkey, but it's so much more that makes a sandwich than bread and meat. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that stuff just doesn't come together all the time. You feel what I'm saying? Like he got a lot of songs that just meet the baseline. It's just like, bro, it's a cool song. He rapping his ass off, but it's like, what is he saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he got one. The song "I'm Ill" is like the song that you make if you're going to showcase rap skill, but that's hard to do over and over. You feel what I'm saying? You have a song like that to introduce your rap skill to the world on a project, and generally it's at the beginning of the album, like his was. But it's like, how does the story progress throughout the album, especially if you're a conceptual artist? And I just feel like some of the songs where he wanted to tell stories, they either fell flat or like the artistic intent just didn't meet me. You know what I mean? So
on his concept songs, like it's either really good or it's really bad, and
it's
really bad, and it's no in between. And when I say really bad, I feel as though like he's trying to overcompensate for something. Like he's trying way too hard. I'm like, bro, you don't have to do that, bro. Like we can get it, like where you going. Like you don't have to drive the point so hard on these concept songs. But one song, I guess you would consider a concept that I did really like, even though he emulates his style from, like I think you mentioned Eminem, is Broski.
fire. That song was
Bro,
amazing.
yeah, like it takes you through all the emotional spectrum from happy, sad, disappointed, scared, angry. What's the word you use for resolution? It just takes you to the whole emotional spectrum, which is really good. But I didn't really think about it until you said it. Like it's basically staying, and I'm just like, damn, it is staying, bro. That's exactly what it is.
And it's staying like in style, as far as you can tell he's extremely inspired by Eminem, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But like sometimes it's all of your high moments in your catalog can't be shining examples of your influence.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? I ain't
like
gonna
we
bring
need to know who you are, bro. We need to connect to you, not your influence. And that's one of my issues with him. I can't connect with him. I don't know what it is. It don't hit. But I do hear the project as a whole. The project is still good. It's a good project. I like songs like Broski, When I Need Love, Fake Promises. I Didn't Go If this nigga stayed on topic. DMX verse versus Simba and his verse on the song completely drastically, like they're basically doing two different songs at the same time. And this nigga Joyner talking about the girls he fuck and they slaves, and DMX trying to inspire people. You know what I'm saying? Like not to lose hope and not to be depressed. Like he's talking like real stuff. And this nigga talking about random ass rapper shit. I'm just like, what are you doing? Like you're ruining the song. I just want to skip your verse and go to DMX. But overall though, I gave it like a 7.5 out of 10.
Damn, I gave it a 7.4.
I gave it a 7.5 out of 10. What were some songs that you did like?
Broski was fire. I liked Fake Promises, When I Need Love, What's That? And I said on What's That, he can fucking rap.
Yeah.
He can fucking rap. Like, and that be the thing. I think people confuse the ability to rap with the ability to be a good artist.
Yep.
And not to say that he might not be a good artist. He might be an okay, cool, mid-level artist. He might be a mid-grade artist, like a C-level artist. But he's like an A-level rapper.
Absolutely.
He's like an A-level rapper, technically. Like, technically, I would put him right there with J. Cole as far as rapping.
Yeah.
Because they kind of do that same dance, like that Eminem, multi-syllable flipping words on top of words. Like, it's like, that's cool. That's one way to be a great rapper.
Yeah.
And from that school, like you can be from the Jadakiss school, you can be from the Eminem school, you can be from the Nas school, you can be from the Biggie school, you can even be from the Ross school. Because I feel like, and we'll talk about this later, but I feel like there is definitely a school of rap that disseminated from Rick Ross.
Okay.
But yeah, it's like different schools you can come from, like different fighting styles, like it, because I consider this kind of like a martial art too. You can even be from the Lupe school. I feel like Ab Soul and a lot of other artists like are from that Lupe school of rap. You feel what I'm saying? Or like that Lupe's technique of rapping.
Like the hermit style, crane style, snake
Yeah.
style. Like, yeah, I got you.
Crouching Tiger shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I feel like he does that extremely well. Sticks and Stones was another good song.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Still all right. The story that Twista told, like, regardless of what a song was at that point, he elevated it like 3 levels.
Absolutely.
And I've heard him tell that story before, but him telling it in rap form just made it that much doper. And I remember listening to his verse, him being Joyner Lucas, his verse on Still Alright. And I was like, bro, why the fuck he rapping so fast? He keep rapping so fast. And then Logic come on. I was like, oh, okay. Then I look at the track list. I'm like, oh, Twista on this too. So this is like they're operating in that lane. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
that's the point of the song.
Exactly. So I was like, okay, cool. Best for Me was another good one. And I didn't go. I like that song, but I don't remember Joyner's verse for real. I remember like the song grabbing my attention when Simba started to rap. And I don't even think DMX was really rapping. I think he was just having a testimony on the track, which was dope. I thought it was really fire. But yeah, man, it's really good moments on this album. I just feel like the other songs, he just rapping. And it's like he just saying shit. It's like they almost feel like written freestyles, kind of. You know what I mean? Where it's just like you just saying shit, like a bunch of surface level shit. It's no connectivity to from one song to the next when he gets into that bag. And so like when you do songs like that, they have to be fire on their own. But if they're not, it kind of like hurts the momentum of the project. And then you get a song like Three Little Pigs. And I feel like the tale of two concept songs. You get a song like Broski, which is fire. And then you get a song like Three Little Pigs where he misses the mark totally. Like, I get what he's trying to do, but the place where I felt like he was going and the place where he ended up made the song so simplistic in nature. And I get it. He was telling his kid a story, but it's just like, fam, like some of this shit just don't need to be released. Like you could have kept that song off the album and like let your kid listen to it. And another part of where he kind of did the Eminem shit that like upset me was like even in the song design, like the introspective song with like a white singer. And I'm not saying that as disrespect to white singers. I'm just saying that is a patented style for Eminem. It's been a part of his style for at least 20 years. Because you can take it all the way back to the Eminem show. And I was just like, damn, Joyner. And then I looked to see if he was signed up under him, and he's not. So I was just like, why are you so beholden to Eminem? Like you even have his album style.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I was just like, and that kind of like took some luster off of it on top of some of those in-between songs just not hitting the mark for me. And then a concept song that could have gave a different meaning to the back half of the album, you missed the mark on that. So that's how he ended at a 7.4 for me.
Yeah. I think he doesn't really know how to make concept songs and concept visuals, because all his visuals for his songs are like really, really graphic in the sense of they're very detailed. So I don't have a problem with that, but when you do that, I feel so it has to have some type of connection throughout the album. You don't need to just have an album full of concept songs and they don't connect with each other whatsoever. Like I feel that kind of defeats the purpose of making a conceptual album if they don't stick or they don't connect together or they don't mesh well. Like you're talking about vastly different topics on every song. It just I don't know. It's just kind of weird to me. But what really saves him is the fact that he can rap his ass off. He can rap. That's what feels like saves him majority of the time on his songs is the fact that technically he's an amazing rapper. So I definitely give him that.
Okay, we are a little bit pressed for time, so let's kind of go through these last three kind of quick. And if we need to, for the sake of just due diligence on our next episode, we'll go back through these in more detail. But we got a live that we got to do in like 5 minutes.
We don't trust you.
We don't trust you. We have an album breakdown for We Don't Trust You. This is a really good album. This is going to the next round. This is
Absolutely.
one of the I think I'm pretty sure this is in my top 25 albums of 2024.
Easy. Easy.
Marciology by Rock Marciano. You your opinion didn't change, right?
It was like one other song that I actually liked, but overall, my opinion didn't change. This shit is still boring to me. I don't see it making my next round. I just ain't acquired that taste, bro.
I got
For
you.
him.
I
So,
went back and listened to it after, we had that conversation. I was like, I'm gonna
yeah,
lock in and see if I can listen to it. Cause it was just a lot of stuff that was getting in my way the first night. Like I said, I had not a car accident, but I had car trouble, caught a flat, blowout, all that other stuff. So I couldn't really focus on it.
yeah,
But when I got to listen to it last night, I don't it once I kind of adjusted my lens to more so like currency, um, like currency smoke dizzle, it
yeah,
started to make sense. And then from there, I saw where he was different. But I still was able to enjoy it. It's teetering on the line for me to continue. I would lean towards no, but
yeah,
this project is littered with so much wordplay, so much slick talk. Um, I'm probably gonna go back and listen to it again just for the fuck of it,
yeah,
um, to see. But right now, I probably put an asterisk by it, because like you said, when I listened to it the first time and I reached out, I was like, DJ, how did you get through this shit? But I think it was so much on my mind because this isn't you can't passively listen to this.
oh yeah,
And so once I got to actively listen to it and I was catching some of the shit he was saying, I'm like, okay, he talking kind of slick. I think the beats stuck out to me more than anything.
yeah,
Um and that drew me into listening to what he was saying. And I was like, okay, he getting in the bag. And he kind of snapping a little bit. I did like the song with Larry June. That's the one I can remember off the top of my head. And
bad juju.
I like the intro song that he had too. He was sliding on that shit. Like, but yeah, that was a good song. And I mean a good project. Whether or not it goes to the next round is up to be determined. But I might flip a coin on it and do it like that. And if it really is that, it'll last in that next round. But last but not least, don't forget to breathe by Buddy.
I really, really enjoyed this project. I
Mhm.
wasn't expecting to, but I really like it. I gave it a solid 7.8 out of 10. I didn't realize he was from California too. That
Mhm.
that just kind of threw me off for a second, but it makes sense now that I go back and listen to his other stuff. But I can see it definitely making it to my next round personally. Um, and the songs I did like, I like how he was trying to be a little bit more vulnerable in terms of like dealing with his emotions, his depression, and just kind of like with the album cover being him washing the water over him, just kind of like cleansing his mind and his soul of all his insecurities. And he was really trying to be vulnerable on this project.
Mhm.
Um, I like Free My Mind, like this. Talk About It with Kent Jams and BJ Chicago Kid. That's probably one of my favorite songs on the album. Buddy's a Fool and Should Have Known with Smino. He was
Mhm.
rapping his ass off on both of those last two songs. So I definitely enjoyed it. I think it's gonna make my next round for sure. I only gave it one full listen though. I didn't get a chance to go back to do a second one, but the first full listen I did hear, I did like it. So it'll go to my
Yeah,
next round.
I liked it too. I remember hearing it when it first came out. I think it came out in like February. It was like a slow time in music, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good because I listened to his last album too. So yeah, I definitely enjoyed this one as well. I don't really have a list of songs, but if we come back to it, I will. But I do
Yeah,
remember liking this, and it's another one of those ones that's like to be determined whether or not it'll go to my next round. Because I'm
yeah,
kind of posturing my next round as just the 25 or like 30,
gotcha.
40 albums, as opposed to 60 or 50. Like I kind of want to have it till like at that point, I might
Mm-hmm.
have 10 honorable mentions and then my top 25.
25.
So I don't know if it made that for me.
Yeah,
Um, so that's why some of the albums I'm kind of like, I don't know. But
yeah,
we do need to get to this live. And let us know in the comments if y'all want more intel on those last 3 albums. But also, on this Patreon, we do have a full album breakdown for We Don't Trust You. So if you do want more information on how we feel in depth about that project, it is available on the Patreon as well as on the YouTube channel. But we will be back with our next episode in a few days or so. And until next time, we out of here. Peace. What's good, family? I am Skip.
And I'm DJ.
And we are DeCypherEd, and today is episode 6 of DeCypher Road to 100. And today, DJ, do you have a list of the albums we're covering for episode 6?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Will you saying for me? I don't have a list in front of me.
We got The Ghetto Gospel by Zero. We got I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking from Marv One. We got Might Delete Later from J. Cole. We Still Don't Trust You, Future Metro Boomin. And we got Mazi, Children of the Slums.
Okay. So before we get into that, how you doing?
I'm good, boss. I'm blessed.
Good. Highly favored. I'm already knowing. Okay, so you said the first one is Brother Ali Love and Service?
No, that's 7. We doing
Oh, my bad. Let me go.
Yeah.
I got them out of order. My fault. You said number 1 is Ghetto Gospel 0.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead and let me know what your initial thoughts for that one was.
I was interested to see how he was gonna make an album not sound like super dated in a sense. And I do get a little bit of that throughout the album, a little bit. But for the most part, I like Zero enough to, look past the parts I feel that's kind of outdated a little bit, and just appreciate the album for what it is. And I do like this album. Not sure if it'll make my top 25 at all, but I do. I mean, there's definitely things that I like about it. That's for sure. It was 5 songs to me that just kind of stood out. Just the ones that I actually kept going back to when I was listening to it. My favorite one is probably the Stevie Wonder sample / remake on the Ribbon in the Sky song. Pippin' Over Here is fire. I love the beat on that. Like how the beat change and shift throughout I really like that song. I like Down South Shit with Lil Kiki. I like the song Clear featuring Maya. I mean, I know Maya don't really play a lot of the industry games and things like that. But it just kind of like refreshing in the sense, like to hear her like on the song, because like I haven't really kept up with her or know what kind of other new music she has other than the stuff that I know, from the 90s. So I wouldn't expect her to be a feature on this album, let alone. So hearing her again sounded really good, and she sounded good on the song. So I really like that song. And the other song that I like was Still Shining with Paul Wall and Mike D.
Yeah,
I really like that song. Overall, for his discography, I have heard a couple of his albums before, but it's been a long time. But from based off stuff that I know, that I remember, this is probably like one of my favorites that I've heard from him. So I think it's definitely worth a listen if you like had to try to convince somebody. I think if you're a fan of Texas hip hop in general, you're gonna like this album. So
I got you. My first thought was this is old school Whip, Black and Mild, Fifth of Hennessy, cruising the city after the car wash and the barbershop music. It's a good amount of old school samples and interpolations on here. And I'm kind of hit or miss with those. Just for my personal preference. But the songs that I did like was kind of some of yours. Pimping Over Here. I think, in my opinion, I think that's the best song on the project. Still Shining, We Okay, All My Life, No Angel, and Down South Shit. And those were the songs that stood out to me. The songs for the most part on the project to me are similar in quality. It outside of those 5, the rest of it is kind of like in that just middle of the road. But overall the album is hit or miss. And the last third of the album it kind of fall off to me.
Yeah, that's the last part of it. The part I was talking about where it got kind of dated a little bit. So that's why I say it couldn't make my top 25. It just, I mean, it's cool, bro. It's
Yeah,
cool, but
if for his target audience, and I think we may be 5 to 7 years outside of his target demo at this stage in his career.
yeah,
So I think they enjoy it. Like I think somebody who driving around in a Cutlass right now,
killing it.
you know what I'm saying? It's not bad. It's
Yeah,
just it's where it's at. Like it's just and Torre said this the other day. He's like, we just gotta stop. At least I think he said it. We gotta stop saying that mid is bad. No, Bomani Jones said it. We gotta stop saying that mid is bad. We used to get
right.
high off mid.
Mm-hmm.
It's mid. It's not
Yeah,
trash by no means. It's just mid. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? It's right there. It's good. If you get in a car, I think it's a little long for a car ride unless you're going like out of town or something, or you just
yeah,
driving around floating for the day. It's a good listen.
yeah,
Um it's just not good enough to be a top album of the year. But
yeah.
I think for his fan base, I think they'll be pleased with it.
Yeah, that's why I said compared to like the albums I know I've heard from him, this is one of the definitely the better ones from his discography. So yeah, if you a fan of Zero, you gonna like this album for sure.
Yeah. And I wouldn't argue with anybody about yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. I ain't gonna say that. But
Yeah, you argue for sure.
I won't be mad. Never mind. I'm gonna say my opinion and I'm gonna just stick my opinion.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't have to have discourse about that project. But yeah, let's go to the next one. What was the next project? Is it the Marv one?
Yeah, Marv One. I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Mm-hmm.
This album I was kind of interested to see how it goes because I mean, as you know, I mean, I know you know, but battle rappers, because I know Marv One for being a battle rapper on different, hip hop and media circuits like
The Marv
URL, Black Ice Cartel. I think he was on King of the Dot a couple of times too. So yeah, I know him from that point, but I've never heard any of his music before. So this is my first taste of like hearing what he has to say outside of 3 rounds, minute 30 seconds, 3 minutes. This the first time I actually get to hear
yeah,
something outside
get
of
some
that.
art from him
Yeah,
outside of yeah.
and battle rappers have the stigma of not being able to make good music. And for the most part, I mean, that's kind of true. I mean, the very few shining lights in battle rap or like people who actually can make good music is very few, far in between. so,
Facts.
so I definitely wanted to hear what Marv One had to say, and I was actually kind of surprised. Like, I actually really enjoyed this album. It's a nice listen. It's not too long, but it's not short either. I think is he gives you enough in the project to where if you want to know about him, like I think it gives you a good variety of different topics and things like that. And the production is good. I like
Mhm.
majority of the beats on here. Now, Marv One has never struck me as someone that's being like super bar heavy, double entendre, like setup type stuff. He's more so just been kind of like I don't want to say swag rapper, but he just kind of like is aura a good word? Like he just kind of like
If you
smooth.
a Gen whatever the new generation is, Gen Z, if you one of
Yeah.
them.
He just wanted the smooth rappers like that just take his time and get through his stuff. I mean, of course he can punch, you know what I'm saying, but I've never took him for somebody that's super lyrical, like super bar heavy. So and I didn't really get that from this project either. I didn't get really like a lot of like crazy stuff like I would have to go back and listen to twice. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like you get what you need from the first couple listens for it. I do like how on the song it was 2 songs on the song Good Things and Grand Piano. He had the Saga on Grand Piano.
Mhm.
That's another battle rapper for people who don't know. And I really like they back and forth on Grand Piano. That song was really good. But I also like his vulnerability on Good Things, how he just basically states like where he is in hip hop and rap, like I'm 40 plus, the music ain't popping off. you know what I'm saying, where do I go from here? Like, what's my next step? You know what I'm saying? How
On
do I
ain't it?
huh?
You doing an album breakdown, ain't it?
I mean, I just this stuff that I just remember, you know, and then I listened to it again while we was waiting on you, and it's just like, oh yeah, I do remember that. But, you know, he just like basically him transition to the next point in his life, and I thought that was really interesting for him to be, you know, that vulnerable on the song. So I kind of I like that. Um, Grand Piano, Good Things, Higher is another song I really like. Purple, Rock Nation Brunch with Freeway. And I like the title. So on the first one, I'm fine. Thanks for asking.
Mm-hmm.
I really like when, you know, after the little skit get through in the beginning, you actually get into the beat switch, and that beat is hard to me, bro. I would listen to it in the gym, and it just came out of nowhere. I was like, oh, like let's yeah, it crunked me up a little bit. So, but overall, I'll probably give it just maybe like a solid 7 out of 10. I don't think it need to be any lower, but it definitely don't need to be any higher than that. I could see this making like an honorable mention or something on my list, maybe at some point in the future. But I'm not sure if it's gonna make my top 25 just yet.
Not with a 7 out of 10, knowing what we got. Because you know you
Yeah,
already know we got a top 10.
yeah, I know, I know.
Like, so we really looking for the 15 to fit in there, and a 7 out of 10 ain't gonna get it. I gave it a 6.8 out of 10.
Yeah,
I said good things, good raps. I think good things. It had good raps, but a weak hook. Probably one of the pitfalls of the project as a whole is just like just the way that it all comes together, like the marriage of the songs. But I did like Good Things, Rock Nation Brunch, Grand Piano, Purple. I like the metaphor of that. It kind of reminded me um of some stuff from some other artists where they speak on abuse and make a metaphor out of it.
yeah,
And so I did like the how he made that song a metaphor. I like that, and he didn't get and so he didn't make it grotesque. He he
yeah,
kept from a poetic standpoint. And I think Higher was probably the bar was the
hmm
most bar heavy song on the project.
yeah,
But yeah, overall it's a cool listen. Not too high, not too low. Um, but yeah, as far as like overall song quality, it's like the marriage didn't overall connect as much as it would
yeah.
have needed to get to the next round for me. So yeah, like I said, it was a cool listen. Good to know that there are rappers in battle rap that can make decent to good projects. So I gave it a 6.8 out of 10, and I'm gonna leave it. Here.
That's cool. Like I say, it probably won't make mine either. I'm just really just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Cause my battle rap side, you know, it's
Yeah,
kind of like
I just don't
coming
want
out
to
a little
spend
bit.
too much time
Yeah,
because these episodes be 30 minutes, so I don't want to like feel like we rushing some of the stuff that,
yeah, yeah,
especially knowing what else is left on this episode.
yeah.
So let's
Oh
go
yeah.
into Might Delete Later. I start off on this one. If I know if you're a Dakota, it's a possibility that you watched our revisit for
hmm
Might Delete Later. I think I gave it a set. I might have gave it a set. I don't know what I gave it on there, but I'm gonna give
Yeah.
it a 7.5 out of 10 from this
mhm,
going back and listening to it again. It's debatable for me right now whether or not it'll make it to the next round.
Yeah.
Um, but I said it's typical J. Cole. He's rapping very well on the tracks that sound like mixtapes. Like, cause
mhm,
that's what this is to me. It sounds like a mixtape. And I feel like J. Cole performs his best when there isn't
The
a
expectation isn't high.
when it not just that, but there isn't a parameter for what he's doing. Give me 1 second. Let me put this live.
Yeah. Um, I agree though. I do feel so. It's definitely like a mixtape. It don't feel like an album to me. I know that's kind of weird to say it. I know people get
You
tired of
froze.
hearing that, but
There you go.
uh,
You had
okay,
froze up. There you go. But
okay.
go ahead, finish what you're saying.
But yeah, I know people say that's kind of cliche, but I mean, bro, a album cut or an album sound when you hear it. That's just the best way I can really explain it.
Yeah,
And
and
none
it
of these
made
songs really give me that outside of maybe Pie.
yeah. I feel like he was trying to with 3001. But like at the level that he's at, I wouldn't put it on the album. And I think that's why it eventually broke down to this. But like I said, and what I was saying about the mixtape sounding tracks, like when he doesn't have parameters that he has to fit within, like when he's not trying to make songs, I feel like that's when he does the best. Because he can just rap. And that way he doesn't have like a subject that he has to get across. Like he can just he just in the on the court by himself doing basically doing a training montage. That's when he's the best. But the songs that I like, well, I said, if it's song structure and topics, which is what I was just saying, and it's almost bland creatively, and that's pretty much a lot of my issue with J. Cole as an artist. But the songs that I did like or that stood out were Pricey, Ready 24 featuring Cameron, Sticks and Stones, Pie is Immaculate. That is a beautiful song. 3001 is good. It's fire too. And Trey the Truth and the Beezer is absolute flames. Like that is a fire song. Like I just wish he was that in depth a lot more. And I feel like that'll give his like projects, like his albums, like more meat on the bones, pause if need be, to help him get across a lot of the thoughts that he be having that I feel like he don't necessarily complete the way he should creatively. But the fall off is going to be so important to see how he can build a legit album at this stage of his career. Because when we really think about it, he ain't put an album out in 6 years, 7 years. The last album he made was KOD.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
In 6 years, almost 7 years. So if we're going off the fall off, and I mean not the fall, but if we're going off of Might Delete Later in the off season, like the standard is super low for me, as far as expectation for the fall off. Like I feel like people are gonna be let down if it comes out to be some type of amalgamation of those two projects, because they're not albums, and it's gonna be like, damn, like you led us all the way here to for the payoff not to be that good. But
I can see if the fall off wasn't supposed to be your last album, then you will always have a chance to rebound and come back with the next one. But the fact that you putting so much stock in this being your final album, then you going away, like, bro, this shit has to be immaculate, bro. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If not, your entire legacy, I feel, is just up for question at that point. You know, so he just put way too much pressure on himself, I feel. But it is what it is. I mean, he may surprise us and deliver a classic. Who knows?
For his sake, I hope so.
But I definitely, as far as it making the next round, it's not really. I feel as though what's holding it for me going to the next round is just the fact that he is rapping really, really good. That's the only thing that's really kind of holding it there for me. Otherwise, you know, if he wasn't rapping, you know, as good as he was, I feel I don't think it would make the next round for me. But as of right now, it's contingent, like in my top 25 right now. I just don't know where.
Okay. Yeah, I won't know until we get through this list.
Yeah.
So I didn't even, when I highlight the scores, his score is in like blue. All of the people that's definite, theirs is in orange. And speaking of a project that is in orange, let's go to We Still Don't Trust You by Future and Metro. What were your thoughts on this one?
Initially, I didn't really like it initially. I liked the first album more initially, but over time that has definitely changed. Like once I really took like my blinders off, like my bias off from Like That and you know all this stuff from the first album and Everyday Hustle. Once I took my blinders off from that and actually gave it a real chance, oh no, this shit is fire. Now, granted, I still don't like the songs that's on there that comes after Red Leather.
They don't count. That's what I was telling you earlier when I kept saying the conversation about deluxes. We don't count anything that didn't come on the initial release. Like that's just stat padding and all that stuff. But we only count what they felt confident enough to release as the original project. So those songs don't count to me.
Okay, well, good. Well, if that's the case, and we going with that, Yeah, this is absolutely making my top 25 somewhere. I don't know where just yet, but it's definitely making my top 25. I gave it an 8.9 out of 10. Some of my favorite songs is Drink and Dance, Jealous, Love Bad Bitches, Night Likes This, Came to the Party, Gracious, Beat It. It just like it just keep going, bro. They just like
It's
back
a
to back
really,
to
really
back.
good project. It's a really good project.
Yeah,
I said on the very first listen, I liked it more than We Don't Trust You. So when I got to listen to it again, it just further because I feel like this is Future at his best to me,
right. Mm-hmm.
especially in this era. Because I think rapping Future was better prior, but a thing that we've always given Future credit for is his ability to make like songs. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Right.
when him and Sierra were together, it was like, oh, so he helped her make whatever song that was.
Body Party.
Yeah, yeah. And he made Drunken Love and stuff like that. So he's always had the ability to make good R&B-esque type music. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's when he was at his best on this. Well,
Yeah.
that's what the project is. So this is him, in my opinion, at this stage in his career at his best. And I said the title track is groovy disco track, feels trippy, like signature Future. Out of My Hands, um Jealous This Sunday. Is that a song? Jealous?
Yeah, Jealous is, and this Sunday is the Drake reference.
Okay, I didn't put commas. Okay, so LBB, which is Love Bad Chicks, and Amazing is a really good run.
Mm-hmm.
Come to the Party, Right for You, and Right for You show both sides of the sad single life. And Mile High Memories is the aftermath. I thought Gracious was good, and Red Leather is unnecessarily long. Jesus H Christ. I
Yeah, I
hate
didn't
that.
really. I know people love that song. I don't care
I
for
hate
Red Leather.
I hate it. Both of
Yeah,
their verses trash.
I don't like it. J. Cole's verse is really cringy to me.
Mhm.
It's just kind of unnecessary. Like we didn't really need you on this song. And then, like you said, yeah, the song is just long as hell. Like, and the
I
beat
think it's
not
like
really that
I think it's like
great to
8
me.
minutes.
Yeah, so I don't really care for that song at all.
Shit kind
But
of weird.
overall, this is definitely a really, really good album.
Yeah. So it's definitely going to the next round for me. Um, some of these albums I don't have like a definite score. Go ahead. But some of these albums I don't have a definite score for. I just know it's good enough to make it to the next round. And this album is one of those that's definitely going to the next round, getting close to that top 25 territory. And I'll go ahead and do this next one. So you'll be acclimated when by the time you get back. But the next one is FUN from Slum Village. The first 3-track run is a dope way to begin the project. A funky, groovy feel. I kind of got
Hold on.
Tribe
Well,
meets.
where you at?
I went to FUN. Ain't it the next one?
Mm-mm.
Oh, my
That's on
bad.
next episode. Yeah,
Okay.
that's what, like, I heard you. I'm like, why you going
Oh,
to
the
something
the
else?
last one on this one is the Mazi, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I skipped it because I didn't finish it. Because I couldn't. It's not on Apple Music, and I
Yeah.
tried to do the YouTube thing, but like with the ads and all of that, it throws you out of the feel of the project. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm just not gonna listen to it. I think I got halfway through, and it was cool, and so I'm like, okay, it's not amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's not captivating me to the point where I'm finna go out my way to try to listen to it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna just take your word for it, and it'll be one of those that just don't make my list at all.
Yeah.
Because he should have
Yeah. I
had it
mean,
on
'cause
Apple.
yeah, I mean, because it was on there. Because I remember now when it was on Apple Music, it was like the Apple Edition version. Like that's what it had that in the title of the album, like
Oh,
the
okay.
Apple Edition or something like that. So I don't know if that was like a limited time thing because that version and the version that was on Spotify are the same songs in the same order, so it's not anything different.
Oh,
So I don't
he
know.
signed, what that sounds like is he signed the exclusive rights deal with Apple for a short time frame for it
Yeah,
to go to Apple.
gotcha.
And
Um,
when it was over with, it probably reverted to Spotify.
yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely heard the album in full. And I definitely because I've never heard that project from Mazi before. Like I've heard him like on other people's songs before, but I've never heard a project like directly from him. So I will say I was actually very pleasantly surprised. I wasn't expecting to enjoy the album as much as I did. Now, granted, it is sad music. It is definitely like you said, the stuff you did to him, like it is definitely sad. Like he's definitely going through, reminiscing on like all the people that he lost and trying to, keep himself together in terms of like being on a different path, staying alive so he can stay rich, that kind of shit. But overall, I think what really does it for me is the production. Whoever did the production on this album, like it sounded like he only had one producer, like one person who did the beats, because they did sound similar, but they were different enough to where it kind of puts you like it helps tell the story better in a sense for me, because like it just got like, a lot of good transitions between the two.
And I
But
missed off of that because of it being on YouTube. Keep
yeah,
going.
so I think the fact that you couldn't really hear it in the way it's supposed to be heard through YouTube, I think that makes sense as to why you just would want to listen to it, because you definitely need to hear it as it's intended in the way that it goes, because he definitely tells a story throughout the album. I don't want to get too deep in it because I feel like I'm gonna be doing a whole album breakdown. But overall, I would definitely Mazi is going to probably end up somewhere in my top 25. I just don't know where just yet. I think it is good enough to make the next round for me. Another West Coast artist really just expanding and really putting into like prominence of actual like musicality again. Like they really focus on the strings and the pianos and the guitars. They focus on that in a beat selection, and I really really enjoy that. Some of my favorite songs, like really just how you start the album, like those first 5 to 6 songs, like that whole run captivated me right away. So you start off with Damn, Still Hurt, Children of the Slums, you got Red Nose Bully, and then Lost It All featuring Friday. This song with Friday probably the best I've heard him as far as his feature stuff. So I really enjoyed, that song with him on it. Um, I'm actually kind of excited to listen to another Mazi album after listening to this. Hopefully it is as good as this one right here. But I gave it a solid 8 out of 10. That was my rating for it. So yeah, it's gonna make the next round. I just don't know where just yet.
I got you. And don't get me wrong, the songs that I heard, they were cool. I think the biggest thing, how do I sound real quick?
Yeah, you good.
Okay, the biggest thing that I did hear and appreciate is he did not glorify the lifestyle.
Oh no, he's trying to get away from it. He's telling you
of not glorifying the lifestyle. So I did appreciate that realism that he added to it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if it ever comes on Apple Music, I may or may not listen to it because I know he put out another album to end the year.
Yeah, he did. I think it was Brash Dummies, I think.
Yeah, Brash Dummies. So I was like, either add that one or just was like, bro, we already got 100 albums, bro. So it's just like, okay, we'll go. But yeah, I did appreciate that. I think I may have got halfway because I did hear the song with Friday. I did like that. So I think the thing I appreciated the most was his realism, and then he also can rap.
Yeah, he can.
Technically, he also can rap. So I did appreciate that. But yeah, I just didn't get a chance to finish because I felt like I was getting diminishing returns on listening to it on YouTube, and that was affecting my ability to enjoy it. So I didn't want to do it a disservice and be like, yeah, I didn't like it, but that was the only way I had access to listen to it. So
yeah,
even with putting it on the playlist, it didn't work. So yeah, man. Depending on what time we finish the live tonight, we may be able to do episode 7. But if not, we can also do the Monday. Because I know tomorrow is gonna be stacked. So let's go ahead and get out of here because I know we got this live stream coming up. So appreciate y'all for tuning in to episode 6 of DeCypher Road to 100. 7 and 8 will be filmed as soon as possible. So y'all will probably get them day after day after day this coming week on top of the reactions that we're gonna shoot tomorrow. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. And until next time, we out of here, y'all. Peace.